Welcome to The Burning of the Midnight Lamp, where we are dissecting music history, album by album, and track by track. We continue with David Bowie and his 21st album, Earthling, from 1997. And we have come to the fourth track called 7 Years in Tibet, written by David Bowie and Reeves Gabrels. And we'll start by listening to the track and we'll discuss it afterwards.
Nothing ever goes.
Track 4, 7 Years in Tibet.
Brings back memories. I probably listened to this an unhealthy amount of times in '97.
Unhealthy?
Yeah.
Could that be possible?
Turn the volume up and off. It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a highlight.
It's
Absolutely a banger.
yeah. It's maybe a bit more straightforward than the first tracks, but it's absolutely brilliantly produced, and I love the fact that they have the chorus instrumental the first time around, and then go back to the verse, and then when the chorus actually comes in, they never go back to the verse again. It's a structure that it's quite remarkable for a song that's over 6 minutes.
Yeah.
But I never feel this is too long.
No, 6:20. It's really, really long track.
Yeah, it actually is.
You have an instrumental verse as well later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you do.
You
do.
mix it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the production is awesome, but the mix is also so good. When we listen to it now, the headphones, all the details, it's got the right punch. You also got those hypnotic beats going around, and when the guitar and it just overlaps everything, you still have the organ going in the background. You know, all the details are audible.
The bass is there.
Bass is there.
Putting the nice ground, like the ground floor in the... Maybe the thing that really works in there is that everything flows so well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a 10 out of 10 track for me. It's not a thing here I would have changed. The verses are brilliant. The contrast between the relatively quiet verses and the powerhouse of a chorus, and the beautiful organ solo that Mark Carson plays here. Not only the solo but also the rest of the song. The way he plays it over the last chorus is just brilliant. And Bowie pulls out his saxophone even for this one.
Yeah.
And that works so well.
Yeah, I need a little bit of that jazz in there as well.
It was a song that was started out as a Gabriel's song that he wrote in the summer of 1996.
Oh, really?
Called Brussels originally. Bowie actually didn't like it too much in the beginning, as he thought it was too predictable and self-serious. Gabriel's kept working on it and turned Bowie around, and Bowie said it went from being something I wanted off the album to almost my favorite song on the album. And like we discussed in previous episodes, it's one of these songs that contains samples that were originally recorded for Little Wonder. Maybe not as obvious as it is in Battle for Britain, or it's not necessarily obvious there, but when you know it, you hear the similarities. Here, you don't. In this track, you don't hear that.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
But I'm assuming it's these
squeaking noises.
The guitar, right?
And then some digital noises here and there as well that just pops up once or twice and then it disappears.
Most things are treated, distorted some way. Even the vocals are, when it begins, it sounds like he's in a submarine somewhere. Except for the organ, maybe that's has a very clean.
Yeah, played on a Farfisa organ by Garson. Garson actually described it as one of his best performances since the 1970s.
Yeah,
he should know.
Bowie described the backing as the juxtaposition of a Stax influence with the late 80s Pixies style.
The quiet loud.
Yeah. Gabriel's claimed that for the verses, they deliberately evoked a Fleetwood Mac Albatross feeling, but mainly so they could oppose it to the Ton of Bricks chorus.
Yeah, you can hear the guitar. Almost Peter Green-esque.
Platy also described the song and he said, "We built this humongous chorus and it kicks. we were mixing it and playing out on the big speakers, and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to hide now because it's 2 bars away and it's going to blow our faces off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really works.
It's effectful. Yeah, it
It's
really works.
effectful.
Mm.
We have to say something about the beat in the beginning, but because that sounds like a direct lift off from Closer by Nine Inch Nails from the Downward Spirals album. But Nine Inch Nails or Trent Reznor used a Bowie Iggy sample for his Closer beat. He used the nightclubbing beat.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Bowie ripping off Nine Inch Nails, ripping off Iggy, produced by and written by Bowie.
So Bowie's actually ripping off himself,
He is.
which he tended to do.
But it's a great beat, and it sets the stage from the first bars.
Yeah. Title and lyrics: 7 Years in Tibet. This is at the time when Hong Kong was delivered over to China. A lot of things were going on in Tibet as well at the time. Bowie explained that it started off as a cut-up lyric, but eventually started to take a more coherent form. It was inspired by Heinrich Hauer's autobiography of the same name and his own interest in Tibetan Buddhism. So this book is called 7 Years in Tibet, My Life Before, During and After. And that was also the basis of the movie 7 Years in Tibet that came in September 1997, so after the album was released. So there was a lot of 7 Years in Tibet in 1997.
Starring Brad Pitt.
So also Bowie donated the same year the song Planet of Dreams to the Tibet House Trust's charity album Long Live Tibet. And he performed at the Trust's benefit concert in 2001 to 2003. So he had a particular love or interest in Tibet.
Yeah, since the 60s. Wasn't it Ken Pitt or something? I think it was Ken Pitt. Said that the only thing that bothered him with Bowie in the 60s was his Buddhism.
Yeah.
He was very missionary about it. And the Planet of Dreams, that was a song written for a proposed, and I don't know, it was finished or worked more upon than one song, but planned solo album by Gaylan Dorsey, made together with Bowie. So that's a song from that unreleased album. And we have to mention that Gaylan Dorsey sings on this song as well, especially audible in the last Nothing. Yeah. She sings alone, last line.
I mean, we mentioned Brussels being an early title, but when the lyrics came about, it also had an alternative title, Biscuits Lady.
Biscuits Lady.
Biscuit Lady, and there's a news there's a story behind that. There was a news story about a woman who had left her groceries in a hot car, and when she sat down to drive, there was a loud bang, and something hit her in her head, and another woman came rushing over to her and asked, "Are you okay?" And she said, "I've been shot in the head, and I'm holding my brains in." And it turned out that it was a can of biscuit dough that had exploded in the heat, and the dough hit the back of her head. So when she was touching her head, it was this biscuit dough. She thought it was her brain.
It's horrible.
Apparently, Bowie must have been very humored by that story and put it in this very serious song.
I've always wondered what this opening lines meant, and now... Now I still don't know what they mean, but I know the story behind.
Yeah, what it means in relations to 7 Years in Tibet, that can be asked. I mean, there was a lot of violence, of course, in Chinese and Tibetans, but
they are great lines because they really send your imagination working.
Yeah, and the song was released on a single. It's in Hong Kong, vocals in Mandarin. So there's a Mandarin version of this track, translated by Lin Chi. It was released in some territories as A Fleeting Moment, which I think is the English translation of the Mandarin lyrics. And it reached the top of the singles in Hong Kong in June 1997, which was the very first time a non-Asian artist topped the list there. Bowie said that he thought it was a perfect time to release an anti-Chinese song in Hong Kong just as the Chinese take over. It got super popular, but I'm not sure we'll be able to tour there now, of course. Yeah.
And there's a video as well that just uses live tracks from the Earthling tour.
Live footage, directed by Rudy Dolezal and Hannes Rosacher. Inspired by images of Tibetan lamas as well, religious icons, and the dancing Minotaur.
Probably didn't spend much time making that video. Let's put something together.
Yeah.
But except for Asia, this was it released as a single in the UK or US?
Maybe and Chris both have the single.
Yeah, but I can't remember if we had to order it. I really can't remember.
No.
So it never
We
did
bought it.
much in the charts.
No, only in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I didn't buy it in the shop. I remember I wrote somewhere for it.
Yeah.
Kompakthuset, tror jeg.
Yeah.
Yeah, live it was actually performed very early, 13th of September 1996, at the Roseland Ballroom in New York. That was more than half a year before the album came out. He then sang it together with Foo Fighters on his 50th birthday concert in New York in January 1997. Played it on every show on the Earthlings tour. There are live versions on Look at the Moon album and liveandwell.com. But it was never performed after.
Which is very surprising, isn't it? That he never picked this.
Such a great,
again.
great, powerful track.
Could have been on the reality tour.
Yeah.
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 It would be great to hear it live. Yeah.
Well.
Well, can't hear them all.
No.
What do you think about the track? Is it a standout track for you as well? I think all of us agree here that it is. Leave us a comment below and let us know what you think about the track. We'll be back in a couple of days with the 5th track on this album, Dead Man Walking. We have a podcast where you can listen to us discussing the whole album, the recording process and everything. We also have a Patreon where you can get early access to all the songs on this album and future albums that we'll do. If you want to support us there. Yeah, and apart from that, we'll just have to say goodbye for now and have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Bye. Don't go away.